a day of celebration for his family in Bihar. Neerja Chaudhary, coming back to you, you were speaking about Atal Advani era, then came Modi Shah era, and now we are seeing Nitin Nabeen here. Do you see this as a troika that is going to be governing the party and the government, and they'll be working in tandem? You know, the best thing, or should I say, the manner in which Prime Minister Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah have worked out a system in many ways is that the party acts as an extended arm of the government, you know, carrying forward the message of the government, the good work of the government, and the welfareism of the government so that it reaches nook and corner. Are you seeing carrying forward of that same legacy?
I think, yeah, I would say Modi Shah era continues. That has not ended at all. And one of the reasons why they can go for unknown karyakartas, it's very interesting, Maria. Few days before his name was announced, I happened with a colleague to be sitting with the minister of the union government, and we asked him about this question. Why is it taking so long to appoint the party president? So, and will it be so and so, so and so? And he laughed and he said, no, it will not be any of the names that you've been hearing about. And so we said, will we have to consult the net to find out? So he laughed at that. It turned out Nitin Nabeen was not a known face or figure except in Bihar. And they are able to take those kind of decisions today because the party has a well oiled machinery today. So it doesn't really matter who, at one level, it doesn't matter who is the party president. Of course, under the guardianship of Amit Shah, that party has grown since to 2019. And as you said, it's the biggest organization in the world today. So I think the Karyakarta, the organization, the push of the party's goals, yes, that is going to be the agenda of the party. How Nitin Nabeen handles the challenges that face the country today, what are the notes he strikes in the coming days after taking over? I think the country will watch that. What does he have to say about AQI in Delhi and what the party plans to do about the mining in Aravalis? There have been many issues that have, exercised people in recent days, and many, the whole security scene. And India is navigating a very difficult situation. So, what will Mr. Nabeen have to say on all those issues? You and I will wait to hear that.
Okay, so we'll wait to hear a lot from the new party president, his thought on multiple issues. So far, he has chosen to not speak, although in the last few days, ever since his name was announced as the working president, he did meet. He had a long, there was almost like a beeline of party workers, ministers, MPs, all waiting to meet Mr. Nitin Nabeen. Sajjan Kumar, coming to you, there will be an obvious comparison which the BJP will also be trying to build on is, here is the party president of the party who is just 45-year-old vis-a-vis other political parties, including the grand old party whose party president is in his late 70s. So if there is a potential disconnect between the party leadership and the Gen Z, the new generation, the aspiring generation or the young India, it will be because the old leadership doesn't really connect or understand the language of the new generation.
Yes, Maria, not only the old leadership doesn't understand, even if they want to understand, the new generation doesn't feel that they are relatable or that they are something who they can gel with. And the colossal gap in Congress posturing led by Rahul Gandhi, wherein he is trying to send a message to the young generation, that is Gen Z now and late millennials. And on the other hand, you see the organizational profile, which is don't still by the old guard. That's a lot of gap to fill. On the other hand, when you see BJP's, and particularly this moves about Nitin Nabeen is very specific and very thought out process, because usually whenever we have a job to speculate, think, we go by the variables that it may be someone from Dalit community, from tribal, from Northeast, from women. So we go by the identity centric variable. This is something that the new generation is not much enthused about. So the choice of Nitin Nabeen is very specific, because he doesn't come from any sort of established identity group, or the group which is always considered to be one of the variable in terms of catching the vote. So this is a choice wherein you are chosen for what you are. You are an insider, you are young, you have delivered, you are loyal to the party, and that way your identity is not certainly the primary issue to choose you. This is one of the messages which is fresh. Because usually we are living into the era wherein the new generation is completely moving into a post identity. They have the global issues which they are more concerned about, while the political grammar still is caught, into the old mode of politics of mandal kamandal along with market. So that way you see it's a move ahead. This is one. Two, also you see that it's not Nitin Nabin. We see a pattern when you talked about a new team. Nitin Nabin choice, I think, is not going to be one of the choices. It's going to be a pattern of the new organizational and state government-centered choices. You see, all of a sudden they chose
New
someone like
organization.
Annamalai in Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu. You see Himant Vishwa Sarma is there, Sarmananda Sonowal there. So you have this profile of people who can come from an identity, who can come from a sort of without any established identity. But what is important that you are choosing the leader who are relatable to the youths, and India is one of the youngest democracy in terms of the youth profile, and therefore certainly intended or unintended. This choice is going to be relatable, not because Nitin Nabin is not
Yes,
established leader,
no,
because you are giving the leader a chance to prove himself.
you,
Party has this leverage.
yes, yes, Sajjan, when you say about the relatability, that's what I'm trying to highlight. Here is a party president who's 45-year-old sending a message that, he will be able to connect with the next generation. He'll be able to connect with the Gen Z that Rahul Gandhi speaks of. But the party leadership of most of these political parties are in their late 60s or early 70s or perhaps even in the late 70s. So how do you connect with it? Do you understand the language of the Gen Z? Do you, when you say relatability, I think that's where the BJP is telling or sending that message that when it is a party on a mission, that when it is about Viksit Bharat 2047 roadmap, which has been unveiled already by the Prime Minister, it will be under a new leadership. A leadership which is not even in the 60s or 50s, it is far younger, just in their 40s. So, Nirja, that generation that we are talking about. But at the same time, Nitin Nabin isn't really a fresher, I would say. He's not a first-time MLA. He has been an MLA for good 5 terms. So he has that experience as well. He knows organization, has served as the election in charge of the BJP in multiple states, including Chhattisgarh. So the party is sending a message also about someone who has experience, maybe in different part of the country, will be identified and then chosen and then elevated to the top job of the party.
Yes, Maria, that power is moving downwards to the younger generation, and certainly Generation Z and others, 65% of India being under 35, we keep repeating that figure. It's a very huge number. But it doesn't mean always that young will have an appeal for the young. Otherwise, Narendra Modi would not have an appeal for young, if you go by that logic completely. It depends on many, many factors. But certainly that power is moving to younger people in a very deliberate fashion, and they've chosen chief ministers also in North Indian states who are much younger and who, as I said, were not known faces. And they were karyakartas who are being given a chance to prove themselves. And they're able to take that risk because they have, as I say, a very well-oiled, humongous party machinery to back them. So it's a very interesting line. Somebody talked about, the new patterns of functioning that are expected to emerge in the coming weeks and months. I think we need to watch for what those new patterns are going to be.
Yes, and in the new BJP of Prime Minister Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah, there have been surprises, full of surprises in the selection of the cabinet, be it in 2014 or in 2019 or in 2024, in some way continuity, but also opportunity being given on the basis of caste, getting the caste coalition right, getting the caste identities right, and at the same time, opportunity being given to the younger lot or the younger faces. Let me bring in Rohit again, who continues to be with us on this broadcast. Even as we look at the party headquarters here, Just look at the activities which are happening, and the camera person could zoom in and show the Karyakartas. Remember, we have been saying that they are coming from various parts of India. Tomorrow is the massive day of celebration, and that's when several, leaders will be present, when the formal name will be announced, although around 6:30 p.m. is when the returning officer of this entire election, Mr. Lakshman, will be announcing whether there is an additional nomination which has been filed or not. That's highly unlikely, given the manner in which the BJP functions and how disciplined the party